Why are you still lagging behind in physics? Even though it took a lot of effort from you guys, even though you did hundreds of questions, why are you still getting 70 marks, 80 marks out of 180?
Because your approach is wrong. You think it's like biology. You read the theory and you solve some questions and suddenly you think you've mastered it. That's not how physics works. If you want to improve your score and your understanding of physics, just follow this method for the next 3 months. I personally gave NEET in 2023 and I got into JIPMER. And my preparation time was around 1.5 years. And for the first 3 months of these 1.5 years, I just did this for physics. So what is the method? It's very simple. You solve an absurd amount of questions in physics. I am talking 1,000 questions per chapter. This will bring you to around 20,000 questions solved in total for all the chapters of physics. I know it sounds crazy, and you have to be crazy in order to get good marks in physics, especially for a competitive exam. You need to reach a level where the moment you see a question, your brain activates like muscle memory and you're able to solve this, or at least you're able to know that you can solve this. We have to analyze what happens when you see a question for the first time. This happens within a fraction of a second. Your brain tries to remember whether you've seen this question before or whether you've seen a similar question before. So how is it that you know whether you can solve this question or not? Think of anything that you are actually good at, be it video games, sports, or an instrument. How did you become good at this thing? You might say it's practice, but I'll say it's a lot more complicated than just practice. It is actually the variety of experiences that you've had with this thing that actually makes you good. It makes you confident because you've been in a variety of situations in regards to this thing that you're good at. And the same concept can be applied in terms of physics as well. If you have solved a variety of questions, you can solve almost any question that is going to come for NEET. So your task is actually to build a library of questions. So how you're going to do this is to solve a very large number of questions. If you've solved 20,000 physics questions, there's almost no chance that a question that comes in NEET you wouldn't have seen. You would have seen all the questions already. So you would be able to solve almost all the questions. So how do you practically achieve this? So this is what I'm going to talk about now. At the very start of your preparation, obviously you won't be able to solve 1,000 questions per chapter, because you are not going to have the level of experience to do this. So how do you achieve this? And this one trick is very simple. All you have to do is start getting stuck at questions. So take a question that is slightly out of your comfort zone and then try to solve it without looking at the solutions. It doesn't matter if it takes 5 hours or a whole day. I have even spent 3 days stuck on a single question. You know what I did? I didn't look at the solution. I went ahead and found similar questions that are slightly easier and I tried to solve them. And I used the experience that I gained from solving those similar questions and I solved the initial question. So you keep doing this, you are going to become better. It's the frustration of being stuck on a question that is actually improving your level of physics. It's not like biology where you can just learn the theory. You have to get stuck, you have to become frustrated, and that is what is going to make you better. This is exactly what people at the pinnacle of their field do. When you can't find the answer online, when you can't just turn the book behind and see the answer behind, what do you do? You try to find similar problems. You get stuck on a problem. You spend days thinking over it. And you think these days are wasted. These days are not wasted. Your brain is quietly rewiring in order to solve these problems. And you will feel the effect of this over a course of 2-3 months. You need to keep doing this until you can reach a level where you can do 1,000 questions per chapter in a span of 1 or 2 days. I know it sounds crazy, but I've personally done this. I know it's a try-hard thing to do, but it's a competitive exam. If you do what everyone else is doing, you're not going to get it.
So from today, stop collecting formulas, start collecting patterns. Like, follow and share with a friend who is weak at physics.